Hello and welcome to this special broadcast coming to you from the Sabarmati river front here in Ahmedabad. Gujarat goes to the polls in the first phase a few days from now. We are tracking every movement in India's big battleground state, but there's plenty that's happening in Gujarat and across the country and the world. So there's plenty more on the news today. Let's give you our 9 headlines at 9 tonight. A police van carrying murder-accused Aftab near the forensic lab in Delhi is attacked. 2 men wielding swords chase the vehicle. Police claim that the saw Aftab used to chop Shraddha into pieces has been recovered. A chilling Shraddha murder rerun in Delhi. Mother-son duo chops off body of father in 22 pieces, stores it in fridge, disposes the body parts in garbage. In poll-bound Gujarat, Prime Minister Modi accuses the opposition of being soft on terror. Congress's Mallikarjun Kharge hits back, calls the Prime Minister Jhooto ka Sardar. Aam Aadmi Party leader and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's security breached in Surat. Stones pelted at the AAP convener's roadshow, who is in Gujarat for a 3-day campaign. Manipal University shocker caught on camera. Professor calls a Muslim student a terrorist, gets called out by his student for Islamophobia. The professor is now suspended. Centre mulls anti-conversion law, tells Supreme Court that it is cognizant of the seriousness of forced conversions in India. Next hearing on the 5th of December. Supreme Court slams the centre over a delay in appointment of judges, says government may have reservations about collegium system but cannot refuse to implement the law of the land. Chaos in Xi Jinping's China as citizens hit the street to protest stringent zero COVID norms. Total meltdown as people unite against a fresh lockdown. But our big story this evening, a police van carrying murder-accused Aftab to a forensic science laboratory in Delhi was attacked by sword-wielding men who reportedly were seeking revenge for the manner in which Aftab had allegedly killed Shraddha by cutting her body into pieces. Even as the police was stunned by what was happening, the images on the screen now will tell you exactly how dramatic it was. 4 to 5 attackers claiming to be part of a Hindu Sena said they would not spare anyone who had committed such a heinous crime. In the video, the attackers can be seen trying to open the door of the police van, carrying Aftab, attacking it with swords. These were the dramatic visuals this evening that came in as Aftab was being taken away from the forensic science laboratory. Listen in to what happened.
जब हमारी बहन बेटी सुरक्षित नहीं है तो क्या करेंगे जी के मैडम हम मारेंगे इनको क्योंकि हम पुलिस तो इसको सेफ्टी दे रही है पुलिस सेफ्टी कर रही है हमारी बहन
वो जांच का विषय है ना पुलिस क्या कर रही है
मैडम मेरी
आपको किसने हक दिया तलवार लेकर दौड़ने का
मैं 2 बेटियों का बाप हूँ कल को मैं लेकिन कानून नहीं सर कानून तो इसको सेफ्टी दे रहा है
आप तलवार लेकर दौड़ेंगे
तलवार नहीं हम इसको गोली भी मारेंगे हम हिंदू सेना से
कितने लोग आए थे आप
हिंदू सेना से हम 10 आदमी आए हम बंदूकें भी लाएंगे राइफल भी लाएंगे अगर किसी बहन बेटी पे कोई हाथ उठाएगा आप भी हमारी बहन है हर माता बहन पे कोई हाथ उठाएगा हम मार देंगे हाँ लेंगे हम जेल काटेंगे अरे उस बच्ची को.
Let's go straight across to our correspondent Shreya Chatterjee. Also joining us is Vikram Singh, former DG of UP. Appreciate both of you joining us. Shreya, to you first. You've been there at the spot. Tell us exactly how was this allowed to happen? Is this being seen as some kind of a security breach that sword-wielding people can surround a police van, try to barge inside where there is a prime accused in such a heinous crime?
Well, yes, absolutely. So, Rajdeep, that's the reason why there's an FIR that's already been registered in the cases, and these sections are under that of 186, 353, 147, 148, and 149, which is primarily assaulting a police officer on duty and also writing with deadly armed weapons. So an FIR has been registered. We earlier knew the two people were detained, which is Kuldeep Thakur and Nigam Gujjar. They primarily have accepted that they came from Gurgaon and they had planned the entire thing, was stationed outside the Rohini FSO from 11 a.m. in the morning, and just when Aftab was being taken out, they attacked it. Now, it's important to say that Delhi police had a hunch of a possible attack on Aftab. The reason why they actually went for video conferencing of Aftab while he was to be produced in court. In the court, they also mentioned that he was under threat from religious organizations. So indeed, the Delhi police was aware of such a kind of attack. There's a quick action that's being taken on the part of Delhi police, but it's unfortunate that something like this transpired because it will only hamper the further investigation process, because remember, the narco is yet to be conducted. That was supposed to be happening in the Ambedkar hospital, which has a lot of people. So right now, the Delhi police has a lot of challenge on their hand on so far as Aftab security is concerned, but this is completely something that the Delhi police was aware about.
But tell me, Shreya, this Hindu Sena group, were they individual attackers? Were they a group? How? I mean, are they a sort of recognized group, or are these isolated stray attackers?
Well, Rajdeep, the Hindu Sena is a religious organization functioning in the national capital and mostly the northern region. We know that Vishnu Gupta is one person who's the national president. He tweeted out saying that he has no role in involvement with these people, and they independently went forward and carried the attack. But that is something for the Delhi police to obviously unearth, but it's also unfortunate. And somewhere down the line, there needs to be a cognizance over the matter that for a long time, since the murder has happened, there are groups who are trying to make it a communal and a religious murder, which Delhi police from day one hasn't given any adherence to.
Right.
They did not even confirm. So that is also on the Love Jihad Brigade to also say that because of them, something like this transpired in the national capital. That will obviously be investigated most likely by the Delhi police.
You know, Vikram Singh, you're with us. What does this say? This is such a high-profile case. A police van is attacked by people calling themselves the Hindu Sena. Would you agree that there has been a security breach in the first instance? Even if Shreya is saying the police was prepared for something like this, could this have been averted? Or are we now in a situation where anyone brandishing swords can try to forcibly enter a police van?
Rajdeep, this is nothing short of an unmitigated disaster. Aftab is a high-profile détenu, and it was the job of the police to ensure fail-proof and foolproof security. And it's something so very basic and rudimentary, even a three-star Havaldar would know how to do it. The guards and escort rules of every district and the state govern how much of force would be given. Advanced intelligence, all police stations en route are sensitized to see for any suspicious people and provide roadside security and a backup. There was no backup, and obviously, when you reach at the handshake distance of those carrying weapons, you almost reach the gates of the jail vehicle. What more is left? One or two blows, and then it is disaster. It was best avoided, and I would applaud them on these 4 points that yes, they need to upgrade their systems. Number two, they should have advanced security liaison. Number three, there should have been a rehearsal. And number four, they upgrade the manpower and also the weaponry that they were carrying. Obviously, there's a lot that could have been done, but I do hope they have got their lessons this time and would not allow grass to grow underneath their feet next time.
So would you say from your experience, therefore, that now, you know, given the fact that Aftab remains this sort of very high-profile accused, should the police completely change strategy, request the courts that all the narco, all the various tests that have to be conducted need to be conducted in camera? Does this make him a huge security risk at the moment?
You're right. The CRPC gives this the leverage to the courts and to the investigators. All tests and all evaluations can be done via video conferencing and also within the confines of the jail. It is better that it is done there, because what has happened would have brought a bad name not only to the Delhi police but to the entire country. Whatever may be the savagery of Aftab, but yes, this cannot be replicated, and people cannot be allowed to have a free hand and have a free for all.
Okay, let me leave it there. Vikram Singh, there, very strong words that you're using. You believe this is a disaster that's been barely averted, but it sends out a very strong signal to the Delhi police and law enforcement agencies. When you're dealing in a situation where emotions are running high, you need to ensure maximum protection. Shreya Chatterjee, Vikram Singh joining me here at the top of the show on that big breaking story. Appreciate your joining us. Let's turn then to what's been happening to where I am in Gujarat. Behind me, the lovely Atal Bridge in Ahmedabad. But the politics of this state is getting uglier by the day as we get into the final stretch of the election. Remember, first phase of polling is on Thursday. Prime Minister Modi is typically now on the offensive. He is accusing the Congress of being soft on terror. On the other side, Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president, called the Prime Minister Jhuto ka Sardar. There's a lot of name calling, but underlying that is a predictable narrative in a Gujarat election. How do you end up polarizing religious communities despite all the talk of Vikas? Our top story today is polarization, the winning formula in a Gujarat election. Take a look at the story.
The political battle in Gujarat is heating up with just days to go for the first phase of polling.
भारत माता की भारत माता की
The BJP is once again banking on the Modi magic to help them cross the finishing line. Along with Vikas, the Prime Minister is also relying on the nationalistic pitch, which has won him and his party countless polls since 2014.
यहाँ हम गुजरात में आतंकियों को पकड़ते थे, तब दिल्ली में बैठी कांग्रेस सरकार आतंकियों को छुड़ाने में अपनी पूरी ताकत लगा देती थी.
During his address in Kheda, Modi launched into the opposition, accusing them of supporting terror backers and going soft on terrorism. The Prime Minister especially raked up the Batla encounter and took jibes at Sonia Gandhi.
आप याद करिए, दिल्ली में जब बाटला हाउस एनकाउंटर हुआ तो कांग्रेस के नेता आतंकियों के समर्थन में रोने लगे, रोने.
Prime Minister's ferocious attack came couple of days after Home Minister Amidst brought back the 2002 Gujarat riots back in focus.
છેલ્લે 2002 માં આ લોકોએ છમકલું કરવાની હિંમત કરી હતી. 2002 માં કરી હતી ને હિંમત. એ વખતે એવો પાઠ ભણાયો, વીણી વીણીને સીધા કર્યા, જેલમાં નાખ્યા. તો 22 વર્ષ થયા, હજી સુધી એકે વાર કર્ફ્યુ નથી નાખવો પડ્યો ભાઈ.
The Congress party, which is running a silent campaign, has been trying to focus on local issues. For the first time since taking over as Congress president, Mallikarjun Kharge joined the campaign. He called out the Prime Minister for using his humble background for getting sympathy.
जो हमेशा क्लेम करते हैं मैं गरीब हूं, मैं वो, हम भी गरीब है, हम तो गरीब से गरीब है, हम तो अछूतों में आते हैं. कम से कम तुम्हारी चाय तो कोई पीता है, मेरी चाय भी नहीं पीता कोई.
He did not stop there. The Congress boss called Modi Jhuto ka Sardar.
कितने बार झूठ बोलेंगे, झूठ पर झूठ, ये झूठों के सरदार है.
While the BJP campaign is backing on the son of the soil, Modi, and his popularity, the Congress till now was trying to keep the spotlight away from the Prime Minister. But with Kharge scaling up the attacks on Modi, will the equations change? Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, leading this charge of the BJP on issues of polarization, be it Aftab and Love Jihad, be it the 2002 riots, is the Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma. He's spending a lot of time in Gujarat as one of the BJP star campaigners. And I asked him those questions. Is he simply trying to polarize the electorate in Gujarat on religious lines? Listen in to what the Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma had to say. Now, one of the star campaigners of the BJP in Gujarat is Assam's Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma. Hemanta da, you have become a star campaigner in Gujarat. Lot of demand for you.
We are BJP Karyakarta. So coming to Gujarat is always a matter of pride and prestige, because this is Gujarat where Gujarat has gifted Modi ji, Patel ji. So it is always a pleasure to come back to Gujarat.
No, I'll tell you why. Because every time you are coming here, you are making a headline. You likened Rahul Gandhi to Saddam Hussein, headline. You said love jihad law, headline. You said there will be many aftabs who will come up in Gujarat, headline. Hemanta Biswa Sarma comes to Gujarat, says something controversial, becomes a headline.
ये controversial लगता है आपको? Do you think these are controversial words?
Likening Rahul Gandhi to Saddam Hussein.
But you
bringing Aftab's case to Gujarat.
I mean, you know that Shraddha Express, she went to Mumbai, Maharashtra, filed a FIR that I feel threatened from Aftab. No action is taken. Is it not appeasement?
She withdrew the complaint.
But she cannot. Criminal case cannot be withdrawn. You consult law. Criminal case is a property of a state. It cannot be withdrawn. No case can be withdrawn without the permission of the court.
So when you are raising Aftab here in Gujarat, when you are raising love jihad law, when you are asking in a way for stronger action to be taken in such cases, you are accused of polarizing the voters. That Hemanta Biswa Sarma comes to Gujarat to appease or appeal to Hindu voters and makes Muslims the enemy.
Look, in your word, this is a polarization. In my word, this is a national agenda. You must fight against radicalization. You must fight against terror. You must recall the surgical strikes because of which you don't see terror today. So according to us, this is a national agenda. So what left media say polarization, we say that is a national agenda. Now it is for the people to decide whether this is a polarization or this is an agenda of the nation.
No, you are saying nationalization, your critics say it's anti-Muslim. You are creating an atmosphere where every Muslim is looked at as a threat.
First of all, there are many Muslims who feel pride with our civilization. There are many Muslims who are against talaq. There are many Muslims who are fighting for uniform civil code. Now, it is depend what type of Muslim you are referring to. If you are referring to Muslim like Arif Muhammad Khan, then we are in same page. But if you are referring to Muslim like Owaisi, then sorry, we are not in same page. It is depend. You are talking about which Muslim?
But in this Gujarat election, is the issue Vikas, Mr. Modi, or is it Hindu-Muslim?
First of all, it is because along with identity of the civilization, this is a because along with the security, future security of the nation, this is a because along with the agenda of women empowerment. And in a state where you share your border with Pakistan, you have to recall surgical strike, you have to recall 26/11, because these are the issues you cannot have.
But the Home Minister has also recalled 2002. Says a lesson was taught to the rioters. It has become a controversial statement.
No, I think what Home Minister has said, we should take inspiration from that. What Gujarat did in 2002, that laid the model for the development of Gujarat. Today you see the new Gujarat. That is because of the politics against appeasement.
No, innocent citizens were killed, sir. Innocent citizens were killed in riots. You can't justify that.
I think in whether innocent citizen died or I am going to justify, all these are matter of judiciary. But the fact remains that the post 2002, there is no riot in Gujarat. Post 2002, there is no curfew in Gujarat. The fact remains that post 2002, Gujarat became a model of development.
You didn't, the Rahul Saddam comparison. Is Hemanta Biswa Sarma still somewhere angry with the Congress, your original party? You bring in Rahul Gandhi all the time.
You see, I have to be angry with Rahul. I have to be angry with Gandhi family. I have to be angry with Congress as a whole, Congress culture. But when I spoke about Rahul and Saddam, that is not out of anger. My sincere advice is, kahi na kahi, Rahul also looks like Nehru. So,
Rahul looks like Nehru.
Rahul also looks like Nehru. I compare model. So if
you didn't compare him to Nehru, you compared him to Saddam.
You listen my entire speech. I said, Rahul ji, as of now you are looking like Saddam. But with little work, you can look like Nehru. So that was my advice. I never said that Rahul is look like Saddam. I said Rahul has a potential to be look like Nehru.
But Hemanta Da, whenever you raise these issues, your critics say Hemanta Da is playing Hindu-Muslim politics. You're bringing the politics of Assam now to Gujarat. Somewhere, even whether it's a Saddam comparison, Aftab, it's always the Muslim as the enemy.
I mean, you see, that Muslim cannot be your enemy because Muslim is a stakeholder of your nation building. But the kattarta hai, the fundamentalists hai, they are your enemy. So when you speak against talaq, you are actually siding with millions of exploited Muslim women. When you talk about uniform civil code, you are staying or you are lending a hands to the Muslim women. So my point is that we are mostly nowadays talk about Muslim women. But when you bring as a whole Muslim, actually you are representing certain Muslim male who do not want emancipation of Muslim women.
Congress is saying elections are about unemployment, price rise, local issues. Hemanta Da is making it about national issues.
Election is about because, obviously election is about all other issues, but along with women empowerment, uniform civil code, labs,
price rise, unemployment.
I said these are issues. That is why Gujarat we said that we are going to give 20 lakhs employment. That is why we said that your health insurance will become 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. So along with Vikas agenda, you have to talk about Muslim women, you have to talk about talaq, you have to talk about uniform civil code, you have to talk about Shraddha.
One final
because you cannot be so much male dominated. Election has to speak about women. Election you have to talk about women.
Okay, one final question. You're interested in sport like me. You said Olympics we will bring to Gujarat. Do you really believe that the Olympics can come to India and to Gujarat in particular?
We have witnessed national games recently in Gujarat. People of Gujarat is saying that 2036 bringing Olympic to Gujarat is a possibility. We'll try for that. First time.
Your critics are ye jumla hai.
No, you are saying jumla. I am saying this is my resolve.
It's your resolve.
It is the resolve of the BJP. It will be the resolve of the Prime Minister that late in 2036 Gujarat host Olympic. But this is all depend on how International Olympic Association look at. But if you always say that whenever you say something for the state, you will say Jumla. And if we do not say about development, then you say that no, you are only talking about polarization.
I appreciate you joining us, Hemanta Biswa Sarma, star campaigner that you become.
Humble BJP worker.
Humble BJP worker. Thank you so much. Hemanta Biswa Sarma, Assam's Chief Minister here in Gujarat. So Hemanta Biswa Sarma putting his cards straight on the table, in fact saying that people are inspired by what happened in 2002, 20 years later. Let's get in our face-off then today with the big questions. National security, is it the BJP's USP in Gujarat when the BJP rakes up issues related to terror? Polarization, is that the ultimate winning formula at the end of the day? Is it all about Hindu versus Muslim? Will the opposition's focus on local issues work this time? Joining me now, Syed Zafar Islam is here with me at the Sabarmati riverfront, as is Rohan Gupta of the Congress. Appreciate both of you joining us. Rohan Gupta, to you first, since we just heard Hemanta Biswa Sarma, he is very clear. He says that when the Congress was in power, Gujarat was a land where there were curfews, there were riots. Therefore, he's reminding people about that. This is a much more peaceful, stable Gujarat. What's wrong in raising the issues? Your response.
See, Rajdeep, I think the star pracharas like Mr. Hemanta Biswa Sarma will ensure that Gujarat will vote in favor of Congress. It is a clear-cut indication that this time they don't have any agenda. They are not able to set the narrative they want. See, come on, this is the election of Gujarat, the people of Gujarat, the promises made by BJP government 5 years back, and what is the delivery? This is not the national election. Where are the issues of Gujarat? Where are the issues related to Morbi? Where are the issues related to paper leak? Where are the issues related to drugs? No. They are not able to speak of any on the issues, and that's why this kind of so-called star pracharaks, they are going to be big boomerang for BJP party as far as these elections are concerned.
But how do you react to his specific charge How do you react to his specific charge that when the Congress was in power, especially in the 80s and 90s, Gujarat, Ahmedabad, where we are, had a series of curfews? The BJP since 2002 has ensured no major riot takes place. It's a peaceful state.
Obviously, because when BJP was in opposition, you know who are the people responsible in these riots and all. It is always BJP who does this divide and rule politics. In Gujarat, whether it is BJP or Congress, Gujarat has been peaceful state. And even now, BJP is saying that there are no riots. We have seen riots in Ahmedabad districts. We have seen riots in Khambat. So I think saying that there are no riots, I think they are fooling the people of Gujarat. But people of Gujarat, they this time understood very clearly that BJP has no narrative, BJP has no agenda. And that's why people like Hemanta Biswa Sarma, they need to come in here, show the development model. What kind of development model he can show to people of Gujarat? His state, Assam, is fighting with the neighboring state. Is this the kind of model Gujarat wants? No. Gujarat doesn't want this kind of negative model. Gujarat wants what are the promises made by BJP, what is the delivery. If you have Mr. Modi, who is from Gujarat, and BJP has been ruling in Gujarat for 27 years, I think they should be confident enough to talk about their work rather than talk about the issues which doesn't touch the people of Gujarat.
You know, Syed Zafar Islam, you want to respond to what you just heard? That the BJP is in power here for 27 years. Why go back to what happened during Congress Raj? Focus on what you've achieved, on unemployment, on price rise, on the issue of education, of health. Shouldn't the focus be on what is your report card? Why don't you provide us your report card, particularly on unemployment? Now you're saying in your manifesto, we'll provide 20 lakh jobs. You should have already done that.
Well, Rajdeep, our topmost agenda for Bharatiya Janata Party is always to serve the people. We are using and touching all the issues which are important for the society, for the people, and for the nation as a whole. It is very unfair on the part of the Congress to make this kind of statement that we do not have agenda, we are not able to set agenda. In fact, we have always prioritized people, their safety, security, and their welfare. And that's why Gujarat is a state where it has led from the front, and everything which we have done in last 27 years is for the people of Gujarat. The people who were struggling for the electricity, now they have the electricity. They always promised Congress party that they will provide electricity to every household, but never it happened. It is our party which has actually provided electricity to every household. Likewise, the tap water to every household, and the people who have no home, the homeless, they needed a shelter. We have provided them the shelter. So we have worked for the society, for the people, and today everybody is confident and comfortable within BJP that we have the blessing of the people of Gujarat. We are confident.
Then why?
There's a lot of receptiveness
Sir, if that is the case,
and the people.
Syed
But
Zafar Islam,
when you talk to Congress people,
sir,
the Congress. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
if you are saying you have such a strong report card on issues of electricity, of water, of providing housing, then why is it all the leaders, particularly those who are coming from outside Gujarat, are only talking the language, or are often talking the language of religious polarization? What is the need to bring in that narrative, which in a sense is almost telling the Hindus of Gujarat that if the Congress comes back, riots will return? Is that the kind of, I mean, virtually dubbing every Muslim of this state as some kind of a rioter or a terrorist is hardly the way you want to bring together Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas.
Not at all. Not at all. When he referred, the Honorable Home Minister, he said Reuters. Reuters could be anybody. But it is the anti-social elements which he mentioned. And today there is no anti-social elements because even the anti-social elements cannot even dream of orchestrating a riot in the state of Gujarat. And he also referred that there was no curfew in last 20 years. That only suggests there is a peaceful environment in the state of Gujarat, and that happened only because of the good governance of earlier the Honorable Prime Minister, who was the then Chief Minister and subsequently the other Chief Minister of the state. But what is more important, Rajdeep, you have to understand, we have demonstrated, we are leading from the front that in terms of the development, it is the Gujarat which has shown a lesson for the other state. It has become a template for the other state to follow the development model, and everything just evaluate, for instance, number of seats, medical seats, number of universities, number of colleges, number of medical colleges,
so the
everything
quality,
we see that the number has increased substantially. Today we have
sir,
IIMs, we have IITs, we have AIMs, so many things has happened in last 27 years. I can go on and on, but what is important for everyone to understand that the people of Gujarat have always blessed us. We have their blessing, we have their confidence, and that is important for any political party to enter into fray when you have the support of the people.
So you completely don't accept the line that there is also an attempt to polarize, for example, Aftab's case. Where is it, to make it love jihad and bring it to Gujarat, for the Assam Chief Minister to spend so much time in Gujarat talking about love jihad? How to square that with your claim that you are actually doing Vikas in terms of education and health, two contentious issues on the ground? When I look at some of the numbers, Gujarat still lags well behind, particularly some of the southern states, on education and health parameters. So all is not shining in Gujarat, and then you bring in love jihad. That leaves me to believe that the BJP doesn't want to only focus on Vikas, but also wants to focus on somehow or the other polarizing the voter.
Not at all. Why would we even attempt to polarize the voters or the situation? It is Congress party which has always resorted to such practice. We have always spoken about the issues which are concerning the society, and that is why important issues which is relevant for the society is always being raised. If Aftab he has committed a crime which is important for the society, party will always raise it, because as Hemanta has told very clearly that it's a national agenda. It is not for the community.
Sir,
it is not for the community. It is for the people. It is for the society.
Okay. The fact is
it is
that,
important for you to understand that this is an issue which needs to be understood and needs to be really discussed in detail by the people, because such things should not happen in the society, and that is why this issue is being raised by the political leaders, because it concerns the people of this great country.
What concerns the people of Gujarat, and I've been traveling here, is the fact that there have been 18 paper leaks. It has affected the lives of thousands and lakhs of students. But I want to ask you, Rohan Gupta, are you in a way the Congress worried about that the BJP, as this election comes into central Gujarat, where remember the 2002 riots epicenter was, is dragging you down now into Hindu versus Muslim, and the Congress is desperate to avoid getting into that trap, that somehow you want to keep this election away from Hindu, Muslim, try to keep it on local issues? Is that the Congress's strategy? Because in the past, when you've challenged Mr. Modi on any contentious issue, polarizing issue, you've lost out.
See, Rajdeep, this time I think people of Gujarat have decided that they will not fall into trap of BJP. They want to understand what BJP has given them in last 5 years, and for that matter last 27 years. I have BJP manifesto of 2017, Rajdeep. Now they have copy-pasted that manifesto in 2022. Absolutely, they had given the promise that they will give free education to women in 2017. Same promise has been copied. They have promised in 2017 there will be international universities in Gujarat. Absolutely no university. Just yesterday, there is not even a single direct flight from Ahmedabad to USA, which was there for a few years back. So if you see the development model, this is a hollow development model which is only on paper. It is compulsion of BJP to raise these kind of communal issues or polarizing issues, otherwise they will
you can't deny there is... No, Rohan Gupta, you can't... Rohan Gupta, you cannot deny whether it's the Narmada Dam or whether it is the power situation, it's much improved. Let's be honest. Nobody says anyone gets 100 out of 100, but you've also got to give credit at times to the BJP.
I am ready to challenge that the kind of power plant which were established when Congress government was there, that was our campaign. Congress nu kaam bole che. I am ready to debate on that. Before 27 years, the major power plants were established, the dam were established. After that, there is no development. Today, it is ironical that they are talking about electricity. They have raised the electricity rates in Gujarat by 2.5 rupees per unit. Gujarat has the highest rates of electricity as far as all over India is concerned. It is 9 rupees per unit. That is the situation. Another important thing, I am coming back to again Rajdeep, the Morbi issue. Yesterday, High Court teared apart this government. The High Court clearly asked that you are just paying 3,000 rupees to the kid who has lost his parents. What kind of benefit you are giving? You are not empathy to these people. What are you doing? Number one. Number two, only 4 lakh compensation. High Court told that compensation has to be minimum 10 lakhs. They have not arrested. Today will be the 1 month of Morbi incident. They have not arrested the main person behind that. What kind of model you are talking about? People of Gujarat, they have seen your real face.
Okay,
that for everything, for you everything is power. Just let me complete. Just give me 30 seconds, Rajdeep. I was listening to Hemanto Vishwas Sarna or BJP's spokesperson. You tell me what are the concrete things they have to tell to people of Gujarat? Nothing. Can you give your white paper that okay, these are our deliveries in last 5 years? No, they cannot. I am ready to challenge that. They will talk about real things, they will talk about big issues, but as far as delivery on ground is concerned, they are big zero.
Can I therefore ask you, Syed Zafar Islam, we are by the banks of the Sabarmati. You will recall 2017, last phase of the campaign, Mr. Modi coming in a seaplane here and saying, I'm going to change the face of tourism in Gujarat, and the seaplane will be one aspect of it. Where is the seaplane? The seaplane's gone. Election's over. This charge is being made now by the opponents of this government that there's a lot of marketing which has been done. There are elements, there are areas of darkness in Gujarat that you're not willing to see. Morbi exposed some of that, particularly the civic negligence. Are you willing to accept that not all is milk and honey in Gujarat, and therefore you've also got to accept that you need to do a bit more? You can't just now say, I'll give you 20 lakh jobs when you've had 27 lakhs to get the 27 years to get lakhs of jobs in.
Rajdeep, let me ask you questions. When Congress party is posing a question about unemployment, I think you should also ask them. The unemployment rate in Gujarat is 1.7% compared to double-digit unemployment rate in the state of Rajasthan. That's their government. What are they doing? What are they doing in Chhattisgarh? The dropout ratio in Gujarat is 3% compared to what they have in double digit in the state of Rajasthan as well as in Chhattisgarh. So they have not done anything for any in any state wherever they are in power, because they only make false promises. But we have delivered, demonstrated that we work for the society, we serve the people, and that's why their concern is our concern, and that's why we deliver it to their expectation. Having said that, even if there are something which we have promised and we have not been able to deliver to their expectation, we will continue to work hard to ensure that we live up to their expectation. That is what we have done. See, that's what happened to the seaplane, sir? The seaplane, or for that matter, anything else. If you think that it has been delayed, it has been delayed. It will eventually happen. It is one party which has always promised to deliver, then it has eventually delivered. Unlike Congress party, who has always promised Bijli, Sadak, Pani, but they promised, but they never delivered. It is us who delivered their promises. So we know exactly that what the people want and what is their preference, and we have always delivered to their expectation. We will continue to work and serve the people of Gujarat and ensure that their expectation is always met to their satisfaction. Okay, so we've had two sides. One, of course, facing anti-incumbency after 27 years in power. And the other facing, whether Rohan Gupta admits it or not, a credibility crisis. Because remember, a number of Congress MLAs have switched sides, joined the BJP, and therefore the Congress will also face a credibility crisis. Is it good enough to govern? But I appreciate both of you joining us here on the Sabarmati river banks, and I hope to see that seaplane sooner rather than later. Okay, we'll wait and see whether that seaplane comes. But let's move on from there to tonight's ground report. It comes from Milan Sharma, because she is reporting from Saurashtra, not too far from Morbi, is also one of Gujarat and India's prominent cotton growing areas. Now, the cotton farmers over time have believed that they don't get the minimum support price and they want more for their cotton and groundnut production. Milan Sharma today reports from Tankara, a town in Morbi district of Saurashtra.
Ramesh Bhai at Tankara near Morbi is picking out the cotton crop from the fields. This time sowing has been delayed for the groundnut crop, which should have been done after Diwali. But the election season is on time. This is when political parties are reminded of the farmers.
इस वक्त ये निकल जाना चाहिए था लेकिन अभी नहीं निकला है, तो इसके पीछे की जो ठंड की रुत की क्रॉप है, गेहूं है, चना है, वो इसमें लगा नहीं सकते। इससे ये एक से हमें संतोष मानना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि दिवाली के बाद 15 दिन में अगर ये निकल जाता तो पिछला माल अच्छी तरह से उसे बोया जा सकता था, गेहूं है, चना है।
Issues are many. For example, this field has chana and moong sowed in the field. But farmers need power to operate motor pumps in open wells to draw water for irrigation. Erratic water and power both have left a section of Gujarat farmers disgruntled.
किसी भी तरह का किसी से कोई गुस्सा कम हो ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि इतनी आफत है किसान पर है। 6-7 महीने का ये जो पाक है, तो उसमें कई दिक्कतें आती है। दवाई है, उर्वरक है और बिजली है। 8 घंटे में 8 से 12 बार बिजली की कटौती आती है।
In his public rallies, Prime Minister Modi has showcased Narmada water to parched Saurashtra for irrigation and domestic use. But some farmers think otherwise. What works for farmers is the hike in groundnut and cotton prices between Rs 500 to Rs 3,000. Driven by robust domestic and overseas demand, benefiting Gujarati farmers, the largest cotton producers, and with healthy groundnut output. But the input costs pitch. A bag of fertilizer, DAP, which cost Rs 600 5 years ago, costs Rs 1,350 now. Labour charge for a quintal of cotton was Rs 750 last year.
सही दाम नहीं, ज्यादा दाम है। हर साल बढ़ा देते, वो बोलते खटकपा अभी 300 रुपये बढ़ गए इस साल। तो एनपी में 450 रुपये बढ़ गया। अभी डीएपी का 350 रुपये बढ़ गया। 1000 था, अभी 1350 हो गया। वो 900 रुपये में 20 खाता था, वो 900 रुपया था, अभी उसका 1300 रुपया हो गया।
So, who are farmers rooting for this poll season?
सीसीआई नहीं था तो भी हमको इनसे ज्यादा दाम मिल रहा था, तब सस्ताई भी थी। अब महंगाई आगे बढ़ रही है, सीसीआई है फिर भी भाव कम मिल रहा है। चुनाव आ रहा है ना, चुनाव चला गया बाद में कोई नहीं दिखेगा, मेरे को मालूम, आपको भी मालूम है। वोट ही नहीं करना, क्योंकि देना है तो वो भी जीतेगा, जितना होगा कम करें, हम ही वोट देने ही नहीं चाहिए।
All parties who need farm votes to sail through have made big promises in their poll manifestos.
Farmers use a special technique to make sure that the soil is ready and fertile each time they grow some crop. Once they grow cotton and the next time they grow groundnuts. That's the feeling amongst farmers. The Bharatiya Janata Party has been ruling Gujarat for over 27 years. Farmers say this time to maintain the intentions of the government, it's necessary for a change. The Patidar community-led farmers in Saurashtra feel that change is the only way that their voice will be heard. With Pradeep Gupta in Tankara district near Morbi, Milan Sharma for India Today.
Okay, let's turn from our focus on Gujarat to another very troubling story that came today from Manipal University in Karnataka, where a professor's remark virtually accusing his student, in a sense, because of his Islamic religion, of being a terrorist and linked to 2611 sparked off a major controversy. The student confronted the professor, accused him of Islamophobia. As the controversy spread, especially on social media, the university has suspended the professor from teaching till an inquiry is complete. Take a look.
Being a Muslim in this country and facing all of this every day is not funny.
This outburst by a Manipal University student came after his professor called him a terrorist.
How can you call me like that? No problem. In front of so many people in a class.
The Muslim student was called 2611 shooter Kasab by his professor in front of the entire class.
Sorry, I told you. You're a professional, you're teaching. Yeah, sorry.
The professor, who can be heard offering an apology, has been suspended by the university.
We will condemn such kind of incident. As you know that we are an Institute of Eminence and we always believe in Sarvadharma, we believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and this thing. Appropriate action is being taken care of on that, and we are taking a suitable action and as per the deemed to be fit, and the student is getting counseled and the professor or the lecturer is getting suspended from the system.
The university has barred the professor from teaching at the institute and initiated an inquiry. With Sagai Raj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now the big international story coming from China, where the COVID uprising continues. Spontaneous protests in several parts of China protesting against yet another lockdown called by the Xi Jinping government. The protests are rapidly spreading. They've spread now from Wuhan to Guangzhou. This anger against the zero COVID policy of the Chinese government is now a major challenge to the otherwise authoritarian regime there. Take a look.
Xi Jinping! Xi Jinping!
Candles, phone lights, blank sheets. A wave of Chinese civil disobedience. Probably the most extraordinary surge of defiance since the Tiananmen Square protests of 1989. Public frustration boiling over in China as harsh COVID rules extend deep into their third year. Rumbling for about 5 months at isolated locations, protests against China's zero COVID policy have escalated since October the 13th. That's when banners against the country's all-powerful leader splashed across a key Beijing overpass. Remove the traitor dictator Xi Jinping, read one. Food, not PCR tests or lockdowns, read another. The chants of the Beijing protesters echoed in mass demonstrations after a fire ripped through the 15th floor of an apartment building in China. 10 people were burnt alive, apparently because emergency crews were too slow to respond because of COVID restrictions.
I think first it's because of the Xi Jinping, the president. We should end his dictatorship. This is why many people died of him. So, but now it's a good news. It's many people getting to realize the president is illegal.
For the rest of the world, it's a journey back to normal life, unmasked and hopefully more routine. For the Chinese, though, it's a life cloistered in stringent lockdowns, even if it's just a handful of cases. The government defends its brute force quarantines, restrictions and digital tracking.
What you mentioned does not reflect what actually happened. China has been following zero COVID policy and has been making adjustments based on the reality on the ground. We believe that with the leadership of the Communist Party of China, our fight against COVID-19 will be successful.
Last month, China tilted towards a one-man rule, as Xi Jinping was confirmed the country's leader for a precedent-breaking third term as the head of the ruling Communist Party. The increasing tumult over his government's COVID strategy in particular and censorship on dissent in general could be a political headache for Xi.
It is very different, still very different from 1989, because in 1989 when students are protesting, that there's clear sign that the party leadership is divided. In absolute control, we don't see any sign that some other party leaders are trying to take advantage of this to change Xi. Without the clear signal of party leaders, the divisions, and I would expect this kind of protest might not last very long.
broader political demands for real democratic change may be too distant to realize in an authoritarian system like China's. But the scale of outpouring seems to be building pressure on Xi's government to at least loosen its draconian COVID regulations. With Ankit Kumar, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's turn to tonight's good news today story. It is World Cup fever, soccer fever spreading across the world. At a time like this, Mumbai is having its very own World Cup for school kids. And the speciality of this is it's brought together municipal school kids with elite schools all on one platform, provided the same kit and a chance for even girls to outshine the boys. Why this Mumbai school football event is our special Good News Today story. Take a look.
Children from more than 100 schools in Mumbai took part in a unique football tournament over the weekend. The QPR South Mumbai Junior Soccer Challenge, an initiative by former Congress MP, gives platform to aspiring footballer from all sections of society to test their skills.
ये हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी गर्व की बात है कि म्यूनिसिपल स्कूलों में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहे ना हो, चाहे बच्चों की बैकग्राउंड्स, उनकी जो आर्थिक स्थिति है वो प्राइवेट स्कूल्स की जितना नहीं है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद कोचेस का मानना है कि बच्चे जिस जज्बा उत्साह के साथ खेलते हैं उनमें वो टैलेंट है जो वर्ल्ड क्लास टैलेंट में दिखाई देता है।
The organizers say 30% of the participants this time were girls.
यह समय बहुत अच्छा फील होता है क्योंकि महिलाएं भी बहुत खेल सकती हैं और मैं धन्यवाद कहना चाहती हूँ, थैंक यू।
ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ लड़के लोग ही खेल सकते हैं, यहाँ पर गर्ल्स भी बहुत सारी अलग अलग टीम से। अच्छा, लड़के लोग खेलो तो लड़की लोग भी खेलना चाहिए, वो खेल भी रहे हम लोग।
The Junior Football Challenge started in 2009. Since then, it has grown over the years. Organizers claim it is India's biggest community football tournament. Bureau Report, India Today.